Hello everyone, how you guys doing today? I'm just getting the stream pulled up on my phone because I miss out on chat about 40% of the time. If I don't, it's just a goddamn mess. Toss that over here. Let's do a little bit of the Wordle. Yeah, I got it. Oh, for fuck's sakes, let me turn down Discord. Wow, jeez. Excuse me? That's horrible. Oh my god. This is gonna be a rough day, clearly. Wow. Milosh, how you doing, bud? Kami, how you doing? Oh my god, that was amazing. Holy shit. Philip, I don't believe I've had you here before. Thanks for joining. How you doing? Oh, that was amazing. Holy shit. Nightwalker, how you doing, buddy? Jen, how's it going? Okay. Ramiro, how's it going? Banner, sign, header, billboard. Excuse me? I thought I had that shit in the bag. Fool, how's it going? I'm gonna try to get through I'm gonna try to get to 145 today. We'll just play it by ear because, as I mentioned in the Discord, I'm getting a little sick. It's not bad, don't get me wrong, but my throat's definitely bugging me a lot more than it normally already does. So I'm gonna try to get to 145 and then see where we go. Justin, how's it going, buddy? Okay, let me just quickly fuck up the connections and then we can get started. Give me 2 minutes. Oh, this is so bad. Semblance, kind of similar. Sidebar. Engage. What is this? Do you have... What is the thing? At least you... I'm trying. At the very least, I try to get through 5 chapters a day, and then on good days, I'll get through like 7 or 8. I try to stream like 5 or 6 times a week. Next week, on the other hand, is going to be a little rough, just an FYI. So today and tomorrow I'll stream okay. Monday it'll be a late night stream, or late night for me, so probably like 7 or 8 hours from now, whatever time that is for you guys. And then stream through the week okay. And then as soon as it hits Saturday, I have like damn near back-to-back exams. Yes, Ramiro, I got that fixed. So now it won't show it to me. I'll have the option to see it if I want to, but I won't just always see it, which is good. It's the tea it poisoned you. Yes, very much so. Yeah. All right, we got to get username in here. It's a trial. So starting Saturday, I have damn near back-to-back exams. So I have an exam Saturday, so I probably won't stream then. Sunday I have the day off, but then I have like exams, so I may or may not stream Sunday. I don't know. Monday and Tuesday I have exams, so I definitely won't stream Monday. Tuesday I can probably stream after my exam, so like those will be like 2 or 3 back-to-back days I may or may not stream, just an FYI, and we'll go from there. All right, I'm gonna leave connections because I don't know what the fuck to do with that, so we're gonna leave it there. Okay. Got the Wordle in 4, so we'll just take the win and leave it there. Okay. The exhausted Klein dispelled the seal of sealed wall of spirituality, allowing the cool wind to blow onto his face. The scent of grass and trees that the wind carried revitalized him. He rubbed the warm and classic sealed 3782 with his hands and sighed to himself. Who would have thought that there would be a drop in the gods of blood in this emblem? I have to assume that the expert from the churches of EBS must have tried searching for this item in the past but couldn't find it. Klein stretched his neck. He didn't dare to try anything else, keeping the mutated sun emblem in the inner pocket of his windbreaker. His hand followed a chain and took out a silver vine leaf pocket. Watch. Jeez. He opened it to see that there was still about an hour before Fry's shift. I need 2 matches to prop up my eyelids. This is a side effect of that near-death experience. Near-death experiences put this guy to bed? What the fuck? Klein didn't have any other ideas. All he could do was take out a small metal bottle from his hidden pocket. He uncapped the bottle and brought it to his nose. A pungent smell, a mix of mint and disinfectant, quickly entered his nose, giving Klein goosebumps. His senses were jolted, making him forget his fatigue temporarily. He had learned the formula from Fry. It was called Quelaag's oil, and it could help a person ignore the stench of rotting corpses, as well as fresh and clear the mind. The next hour felt like torture. Klein paced around from time to time and was bitten by the mosquitoes in the forest several times. Finally, he saw the black-haired, blue-eyed Fry walking out of town, wearing a windbreaker and holding a cane. Even though Fry still looked like a living corpse, Klein felt as though he was looking at his savior. He covered his mouth and let out a yawn, making his eyes teary. He made his way over and took out 3782 from his pocket. What happened? Fry asked as he looked at his partner's face. Klein sighed and said, I just did my shift at Chanis Gate the previous night and didn't sleep too well, so I am very tired. He didn't elaborate further and changed the topic. Shall I come for my next shift in 4 hours from now? 7. The captain doesn't need sleep at night. Interesting. I'm glad someone enjoys staying up late, Klein ridiculed the captain under his breath. He bade farewell to Fry and walked towards the town. On the way back to the inn, he took out his pocket watch again and checked the time. 10 minutes earlier than we arranged. What a kind person. Klein laughed and walked a little faster. He returned to the inn and opened the half-closed door. The boss watched him as he made his way to the second floor before he entered the room. I wouldn't necessarily call that gaslighting. I think that's just a small little lies we all tell. Oh, good. He removed his coat and shoes after locking the door. He didn't wash up, but instead fell directly onto the bed. His breathing became heavy in just a few seconds, then long and peaceful. In his dreams, Klein returned to Earth where he was playing a game he hadn't beaten. A cup of soda and a plate of spicy chicken wings were on his left. To the right was a bowl of rice and bitter bamboo shoots meat soup. What the fuck is this game? He didn't like bitter bamboo shoots, but he liked it in soup with meat slices. The refreshing taste and the little bit of fat from the meat were tantalizing, a perfect complement to the rice. How could he eat an extra bowl of rice if it was paired with some good sauce dip? He could eat an extra bowl of rice if it was paired with some good sauce dip. Just as Klein was about to enjoy his supper and continue playing his game, the dream changed, presenting him with the internal layout of 2 Daffodil Street. Klein suddenly became aware that he was dreaming. He saw himself seated at the side of the dining table, a copy of the Tianjin Daily Tribune in his hand. In front of him was a bowl of tomato oxtail stew, pan-fried lamb chops, mashed potatoes, and wheat bread. He subconsciously turned to look at the door, suddenly noticing a figure standing outside the window of the living room, silently staring inside the house. Klein was shocked. He immediately recognized the gray-eyed Dun. His face was clinging close to the window as he silently watched the people inside. Captain, can you not scare someone in their dreams? Is this your way of acting as a nightmare? Could be, because can't I don't know exactly how it works, but can't Dun infiltrate and sort of see what he's seeing in his dreams? It'd be pretty fucking weird if he saw his dream of Earth, no? Well, I guess he probably wouldn't Klein thought about finding humor in his exasperation. He scooped up a mouthful of stew and put it in his mouth. This is my cooking, he sighed to himself. He understood why he suddenly became alert in his dream, why the scene of him on Earth vanished. He would naturally become aware when someone barged into his dreams. At this moment, Dunn left his spot by the oriel window and directly entered the house. In his black windbreaker, he came silently before Klein. He took off his hat and nodded before sitting down. He didn't stand on ceremony, picking up cutlery and quickly polishing off the stew, lamb chops, and wheat bread on the table. Amnesiac, thanks for joining. How's it going? Klein looked on dumbfounded, unsure what the captain was doing. Phew. Dunn exhaled in satisfaction and gave Klein a thumbs up. He then took out his pipe and a matchstick before taking an intoxicated puff. He exhaled a cloud of smoke and stood up. He then put on his hat and bowed before leaving the house and the dream. Klein looked at the captain's back, unable to collect himself. Wait, he just walked in, ate his food, said thanks bud, and walked out? Based. He looked down at the empty plates instinctively and wanted to conjure up the food he had just now. But this time, the oxtail, lamb chops, mashed potatoes didn't appear in his dream. It was completely eaten. A nightmare can do that? Klein twitched his lips and thought in frustration. So the captain's goal was to prevent me from eating supper in my dream? That sure is a goddamn nightmare. This method of acting as a nightmare sure is creative. He let out a laugh and exited his dream, once again falling back asleep. And at about 5:30 the morning of the next day, Queen, how's it going? Thanks for joining. Klein, who had no choice but to wake up early, drink his coffee, and eat the toast and bacon, he hurried out of time to take over for Dunn. At 7 in the morning, they prepared to set back to Tingen. It wasn't even 10 when they arrived at 36 Zootland Street. Oh no, not at all, Queen. We're like maybe 10 minutes in. You're like spot on. Not even halfway through the first chapter. Perfect timing. Fry sat behind the typewriter after Dunn, the most energized of the lot. Returned sealed artifact 3782 back to the back of Chanis Gate. He took advantage of the fact that the clerks hadn't arrived yet so he could write a report on the mission and the claims of the related expenditures. So I guess everyone does that, fair enough. Dunn casually giving Klein, yeah, exactly. And like the sweetest kind of nightmare, like he's not scared or anything, it's like a mild annoyance, like if someone just hid your car keys before you were going to work in the morning, you'd be like you wouldn't be that pissed at, like you might be a little ticked, you might be like, holy shit, I'm running late or whatever, but it'd be like, okay, why are you such a fucking nightmare, dude? Just give me my goddamn keys, you know? Like a annoying kind of prank, not a bad one. Klein looked on from the side, satisfied that the items he had expended were on that list, including the materials he used to drive the bugs and mosquitoes away. Fair enough. He didn't return home immediately. He had arranged to meet the asylum doctor Dexter at 1 in the afternoon at the agreed upon venue through a coded letter. There's still the tarot gathering meeting at 3. Why does the boss of a secret society have such a tiring life? Oh, press a F on the world's smallest keyboard. Shut the fuck up. Klein thought to himself. He took a 2-hour nap in the Nighthawk's break room to catch up on some sleep. He didn't forget the information he had obtained the previous day. He wasn't worried that he would forget, for information could be recalled using divination. Oh, I don't ever have nightmares. Although in fairness, I don't ever have dreams. Well, I'm not going to say ever, but I almost never have dreams. Like, I could probably count on one hand the number of times I recall having a dream in the past 5-7 years. Like, I never have them. Some people say that means I have like a really good REM sleep, and then other people say that means I don't ever enter REM sleep. I don't fucking know. I don't know how that works. Wait, hold on. For information could be recalled using divination. He was afraid that he would disregard the existence of this information and even lose the ability to divine the information. Thus, he recalled the piece of information again before he slept to reinforce them. Why not just fucking write them down, bro? I had a dream in which I couldn't open my eyes and clawed them up. Holy shit. What the fuck are your guys' dreams about? My dreams are... the one dream I can recall, having was like, I don't know why, I like woke up in our old house. I like wake up from a midday nap, which is already weird as fuck because I don't nap almost, unless I'm sick. I almost never nap. Um, I wake up from a nap and then the FBI is searching through our house, which is weird because I'm in Canada. We don't have the FBI, so I don't know why that was. And I'm just and like I get up and I'm like, what the fuck is going on here? What are they looking for? And they're like, oh, they're I can't remember. And then I think I just wake up. My biggest well, one, I don't dream, and when I do, I often logic myself out of my dreams, which is weird. Like, what's that? I can't remember. What's the word for like when you can control your dreams or like have a dream that you are in control of? Someone will tell me in a second. He was yes. And this was the reason Klein insisted on doing a review every week and reorganized all the information he knew. After lunch, he took a look at his pocket watch and left the Blackthorn Security Company for the shooting club at 3 Zoutland Street. I remember getting my arms... Oh, good lord, Ramiro, what the fuck? I dream less and less as I get older. I miss them? Maybe. I've just never had them, even as a kid, so I don't have, like, fond memories or anything. I have dreams a lot, but but haven't had a nightmare in years. That's probably a good thing. I once had a nightmare that a part of my... Like, wait, what do you mean, Nightwalker? Are you telling me you just, like, walked down the street and your arm fucking fell off? Oh, lucid dreaming. Yes, thank you. Yes. So, like, I don't get to lucid dreaming, but I logic myself out of dreams. So, like, a dream that I had, like, probably 3 years ago or something. I remember my dreams because I don't have them that often. Was, like... we were sitting in class and I was like shooting the shit with my friends, like the professor was talking or whatever. I was turned back and like talking to my friends, and then in the middle of the dream while I'm talking, I'm thinking, wait, why is this friend here? Because he's not in this class. Like, he's supposed to have a different class right now. So, and he wouldn't just, and he was like, and he's a really studious like student, so he wouldn't just skip class to shoot the shit with us in a different class. He would never do that. So I was there and I was like, wait, he's not supposed to be here. And then like I was like, wait, he's not here, which means this is a dream. And then I snapped and I woke up. I was like, oh, for fuck's sakes. Yeah, so I just logic myself out of my dreams, which is fucked. I always have creative dreams, like a continuation of an old anime or something. Oh, that's super fucking cool. Holy shit. Like, if I could, I would just dream about a vagabond anime and then cry in my sleep because I don't want to wake up. Holy shit. I do all my ideas. Also, you used to have sleep paralysis. Whoa, that's cool and horrifying. Cool because I've heard about it, and horrifying because that sounds scary as fuck. It's very normal for kids to have more dreams. That might be. When I dream, I don't see anything. I just hear voices. Are you blind in the dream world? What the fuck? My worst nightmare was probably being at school naked. I feel like that's a pretty common one because, like, I think for a lot of people, like, public humiliation or whatever is like a really big fear. So it's probably like a part of your brain that's like constantly running because you're like, holy shit, that would be fucking nightmarish. And that's the norm. What the fuck? Username, thanks for being here. How you doing? After lunch, he took a look at his pocket watch, left the security company, and for the shooting club at 3 Zoutland Street. Klein entered the reception area after pushing open the door, but he didn't head directly to the shooting range belonging to the Nighthawks. Instead, he found a seat in the hall and waited patiently with the black cane in his hand. He had arranged to meet Dexter at the Zoutland Street Shooting Club. Very cool. Oh yeah, no worries, username. Thanks for popping by, bud. I appreciate it. He had arranged this through handwritten letters. Whenever Klein needed to meet him, he would write to Dr. Dexter in the place of a patient's family member and ask about a unique condition called dissociative identity disorder. That's pretty cool for for the fool. Oh, you have aphantasia. I'll be back later. Today's stream will probably be like an hour and a half, maybe 2. So yeah, I hope to see you back, buddy. But yeah. The nightmares that I have, even decades with school. Yeah, school. We always used to joke that like our high school experience was so fucking nightmarish because it was so stressful and shit. We were gonna worry about our fucking IB exams for like a decade. Holy shit. Did you get touched by a T? Stop. Yeah, dissociative identity disorder is a cool little nod because he basically has that, right? Because he's acting as a different person in a different world, and he's also acting as the fool in this different world. So he's like fucking like 3D chessing dissociative identity disorder. In this letter, Klein would use various methods to mention the spectator, as well as a hidden mark on the ink to authenticate his identity. The letter would casually mention a time to meet. As for the place to meet, they had already decided that the first time they met. If Klein felt that there was a need to change the location, he would mention it when they met in person. I never thought. I hope I don't once I'm done in like 10 days. 10 fucking days, dude. I can't wait. Holy shit. When Dexter needed to meet for non-urgent matters, he could send a letter to the Hound Pub or the Shooting Club. The recipient would be marked as Mr. Hornaces, which Klein would check at scheduled times. In urgent situations, he could hand the letter directly to the boss of the Hound Pub, Wright, and mention his search for mercenaries. This way, Wright, who was an associate of the Nighthawks, would immediately hand the letter to the Blackthorn Company. After waiting for a while, Klein saw the refined Dexter enter the Shooting Club, a minute past 1. He was wearing a black hat and a fitted tuxedo. He had a cane inlaid with silver in his hand, as well as a pair of gold-framed spectacles on his face. Dude, I have to think about this. Can you imagine how fucking nightmarish life would be for people with, like, bad vision before we, like, invented glasses? Like, can you imagine your whole fucking life you just see blurry? That sounds like that's like the worst still okay thing that could possibly happen to you. Like, it's just a huge inconvenience at all times in life. What a fucking nightmare, dude. Dexter walked around the club without attracting attention and saw Klein, who nodded slightly. He then retracted his gaze and walked to the counter, expertly applying for a shooting range and renting a gun. This was not his first visit. Small shooting range, 7, 3 soli an hour. The fee for renting a revolver is 1 soli 7 pence per hour, and it contains 6 rounds. Only 6 rounds? What the fuck? Bro, I'm gonna need, like, I'm sure you can buy ammo too, but, like, that's still so little's included. What the fuck? Although I guess that's what actually happens if you rent at a gun range. After Dexter confirmed that he was renting the items for an hour and paid the fee of 10 soli, he took the revolver and extra bullets, was led to the respective shooting range by the facilitator. Klein waited another 5 minutes before slowly standing up. He grabbed his cane before walking to the small shooting range 7 and knocked on the door. The door opened a tiny crack with a creak. Dexter first looked around cautiously and then opened the door fully. Klein immediately entered and locked the door. "Good afternoon, Mr. Dexter," he said as he took out a 10 soli bill. He handed the bill over to Dexter. "We won't let our associates bear any extra fees because I can claim compensation." Dexter didn't decline. He took the cash and asked heavily, "Mr. Moretti, why did you ask to meet me?" Bad vision before glasses, basically a disability. Unironically, dude, like that it sounds so cancerous. Holy shit. "I will have dreams," and then months later, the scene from the dream. Ah, interesting. Yeah, I have that too, Milosh, but mine aren't like months apart. Mine are like 2 or 3 days. I've always seen it as a kind of premonition. I don't know if you guys believe in that or whatever, but like, and again, it's very rare because I don't dream a lot anyway, but like, I'll have it happen where like I'll wake up from a dream or whatever, and then 2 or 3 later, I'll be like, holy shit, I remember this from my dream. Association. Klein obviously didn't just bring up the telepathist formula right away. However, he didn't hide his intention either. After all, the man opposite him was a spectator. He wouldn't be so easily conned. Has Hood Eugen behaved unusually recently? I am a seer for real. Yeah. He first asked Dexter about the patient in the asylum who was a member of the Psychology Alchemists. Dexter examined Klein's eyes, expressions, and gestures. He thought and said, "No, he's acting very normal." Frankly speaking, I think if he really wanted to leave the asylum, he could leave. He could immediately behave in a very healthy and very normal manner. But he hasn't done so, and he continues to stay in the asylum. He appears to be treating every patient. Yes, patients who exhibit chaotic, violent, or abnormal thoughts appear to be getting better. Maybe Hoodoo-Yugen is trying to train his Beyonder powers with this method. It's called Divine Revelation. I don't know about all that, but yeah, I just always found it like really cool. I always half sequence here, yes. It's a lot. That's space. That's a good way to put it. Yes. Psychiatrist, sequence 7, that corresponds to spectator, perhaps even higher. Since Hoodoo-Yugen isn't a doctor in the asylum but entered as a patient, it means he hasn't truly grasped the acting method. It should be as Daxter has guessed. He's probably training his Beyonder skills and doing so resembles that of the acting method. To a certain extent, it could slow down the potion's negative influence. Hence, Hoodoo-Yugen decided to take the asylum as his home. Klein openly showed that he was in deep thought regarding Hoodoo-Yugen's matter. Because that would make Daxter feel that he knew and understood a lot, making him appear unfathomable. With this in mind, Klein guessed something else. The psychology alchemists haven't grasped the acting method. After all, even a mainstay member at Sequence 7 was unaware of this. In this era of few Beyonders, a Sequence 7 was considered mid-level in any organization. They were important enough to know crucial matters, especially those that could help members resist the loss of control. Dude, seriously, like a Sequence 5 seer has got to Sequence 5 of anything, it's just got to be a fucking god. In this day and age, holy shit. Hold on, sorry. Well, the scene I see are always boring and I forget about them, so I can't really... I remember them, but again, it's like, it's not like any cool shit or like bad shit that's gonna happen. It's like the most mundane bullshit. Like, one thing I remember, like, one I can recall off the top of my head was like, I was walking in the kitchen and like my mom spun around quickly because she was trying to get something, and like I had my coffee. It was cold coffee, so I didn't like, but like it spilled on both of us. And I remember in that moment I was like, oh, for fuck's sakes, I remember seeing this. It was like the most mundane bullshit. Like if it was hot coffee and I could like avoid it, that'd be a fucking beast. No, it was just whatever. It was like, oh, we both had to change shirts. Like, okay, whatever, who gives a fuck. So all the acting method is fake it till you make it? Yeah, exactly. Okay, I'll become a fake doctor. Well, you would have to take, what the fuck was it called? Oh my god, what do they call a fucking pharmacist? Oh my god, I know this. Pharmacist. Apothecary. Yes, apothecary. Leola, thanks for joining. How you doing? If you don't try to recall... Yeah, exactly. You have to, like, think about your dreams as soon as you wake up, or your brain just goes, discarded memory. Don't need it. Plus, the Psychology Alchemists were a secret organization that had only been established in the last 300 years, or even earlier. It was understandable that they hadn't grasped or deduced the acting method. Yeah, but, like, it seems most organizations haven't. Even the Evernight Goddess, or Church hasn't. Like, what the fuck? The only organization that brought up this method explicitly was the Secret Order. And that was an ancient organization more than 1,500 years of history and could be traced back to the previous epoch. I'm gonna just eat my fried rice. Sounds good to me. Sounds good, Ramiro. Hey, the Church of the Goddess is even older than the Secret Order. Just like the Letter of Saints and the Revelations of the Evernight clearly indicates that it's nearly 3,000 years old. Holy shit. That's not to mention the mythical legends before that. How could such an ancient church not have discovered the acting method? If you have the apothecary potion, you might as well be an actual doctor. Actually, yeah. Dr. Z, thanks for joining. How you doing? During the long history of a huge organization, there must have been members who experimented with various possibilities, just like Spirit Medium Daily. They may not have understood the principle of the acting method in detail, but they acted out the name of the potion correctly. They would have discovered the gist of it through the good feedback they received, that accumulates through generations of Nighthawks. Unless the higher-ups were a bunch of curly-haired baboons, it would be impossible to deduce the acting method. Maybe. But, like, I feel like some of it is also, like, I'm not gonna say common sense, but, like, should be easily deducible. Like, if you're receiving these names of the, I always say epoch, holidays over and working hard. Yes. I think it's almost dinner time for you, if I'm remembering correctly, Dr. Z. Hearing you read the chapters I read helps me understand what I couldn't before. Oh, that's good, yeah. I have the same sort of, it's kind of like a feedback sort of thing where, like, if I read a thing and I don't quite get it, I'll just be like, oh, I don't quite get this, and then, like, someone who understands it better, like Milos, Ramiro, username, some amnesia, it's like someone will be like, oh, like, this is what happened or whatever, which is really handy. Or, like, I'll come up and, because there's other people, what the fuck? Hold on. Just curious, can you guys see everything okay? Because my... Interesting. Yes, okay, I'm gonna assume you guys, the stream is still up and running. Because, sorry, someone just give me, just let me know you guys can see everything okay? Everything is fine? Okay, we can see, okay, that's good. So I'm gonna continue. Oh yeah, I'd really recommend, if you're interested, Queen, I would, I just, we talk about stuff there, we talk about other anime and manga too, and then I just give a heads up for when I'm going live. Because my schedule's a little fucked. Imagine your whole world, and everyone says this is how the world works. People would... Yeah, I guess that's probably fair, Ramiro. Yeah, I guess that makes sense. You always have to remember, like wanting to retain the status quo is like a really strong feeling everyone has. Sorry, this is what, on my other screen, it's telling me that an error has occurred, so I just wanted to make sure the stream didn't fucking crash or something. Okay, but if everything's okay, we're just gonna continue. If, God forbid, in a couple of minutes or anything happens, just shoot a message in the Discord. I'll keep that up too, and then I can restart stream if needed. But we're just gonna continue on. That's scary as fuck. Okay. Hold on. Where was I? Klein's thoughts made the connection and was suddenly shocked. To the Nighthawks who didn't know the acting method, someone like Spirit Medium Daily was a genius, an example that an ordinary member couldn't emulate. Hence, no one suspected that the experience of Daily and the others could be adapted for their own. But to those who have grasped the acting method, this would be extremely odd. Klein believed that in the long history of the Church of the Evernight, Spirit Medium Daily was definitely not the first member to use the acting method, to digest a low sequence potion quickly. She might not even be in the top 10 or 50. That probably makes sense, and like, I don't know how old they are or if they said, but like, assuming 1,000, 1,500 years or whatever, which I think I read somewhere, it's like, you could imagine some people just accidentally just stumbling their way in, right? It doesn't make sense unless Daly didn't understand the acting method on her own but had other people's guidance. Then it could be concluded that every member of the Holy Cathedral follows the belief of the past, believing in their predecessors' experiences, and not daring to rebel against their teaching. After all, rebelling would imply the loss of control, and most of the time, yes. Other than this explanation, there is another possibility. More than 3,000, really? The higher-ups of the church have hidden the acting method for some reason. Okay, logically, was there a good reason to do that? Okay. My immediate instinct is probably corpse collectors. It's easy, isn't it, Dr. Z? You just go into what do you, oh my fucking god, you go into like funeral homes or whatever and you just steal corpses and then you keep them in your basement. I don't know, just easy. Seems like the easiest acting ever. You're basically just a thief. You're a grave robber basically. Sorry, bad joke. Okay, why would you, if let's say the heads of the churches, let's say all major churches know of the acting method, why would you want to hide it? Well, I guess first would be if you believe that it's just a fucking nightmare if higher sequence beyonders lose control, then it's kind of a fucking nightmare. killing people. Well, I guess as long as you take them home afterwards, probably. Ramiro, you probably just get hired at the mortuary. Well, okay, maybe, but then the question is, fool, is that really collecting? If people are just bringing them to you, and then you just get them ready for the funeral, and then they get buried or whatever. Graveyard keepers, Queen, that's so smart. Holy shit, you just do that. Like technically, you're a collector because you are in possession of them for those hours. Can you imagine the XP points? You'd be leveling up like Sung Jin-woo. Like you would just fucking get through your sequence 9 potion in like a week and a half. Holy shit, that's so smart. Sorry. I need to flip through some records and search for examples in the Church of the Evernight Goddess digesting their potions quickly, as well as the final outcome, Klein thought. Dexter looked at him, waited a few minutes, and asked curiously, "Officer, is this some part of problem? Is there some sort of problem with Hood Yun's actions?" Jesus Christ, I can't read. "Not right now. It just makes me think of other matters," Klein replied, smiling. He asked instead, "Has there been any actions taken by the psychology alchemists recently?" "No, besides a small gathering in Awa to exchange items and experience." Klein nodded slightly and said, "How about your own situation? Your home will start to stink? Do you think someone who's acting like a corpse collector is inviting people? And plus, didn't it say that didn't Fry say that he was like rather used to the smell of corpses at this point? Do you remember anyone else who might know the acting method?" The only one I can think of is Leonard. No? Like Madame Daly, obviously. Leonard, I feel like it said he wasn't, what do you call it, thing for too long. What the fuck? He wasn't a Nighthawk for too long. And he's a sequence 8, I think. And like and it's like Midnight Poet or some shit, right? And he's always spewing poetry or some bullshit. Neighbor? Leola, maybe? I don't know. Because what I'm thinking is like, this is Victorian era England, which means there's horses everywhere, which means it smells like horse shit everywhere all the time. Like, yes, thank you, Dr. Z. Exactly. Plus, it just smells like dog shit all the time. Like, I think New York City, for example, it was like, the thing was, up until the 1910s or whenever the fuck the Model T came out, it was like, there were horses everywhere, and if a horse died on the street, you would just have to wait until it decayed, and there were only bones before you took it away. So there was just rotting horse corpse in the middle of the street for weeks. So, like, I imagine people in this era just didn't have a fucking nose. Holy shit. Can you imagine living in that? Fuck me. Klein nodded slightly and said, "How about your own situation? Can I tell you something which is already revealed or hint a bit, but you didn't get it?" I'm good, Nightwalker. Yeah, you're good. You're good. No one's gonna. Ramiro? Milos, stand down. You guys are good. Yeah, go ahead, Nightwalker. Sorry. Klein nodded slightly and said, "How about your own situation?" Daxter controlled his expression as he replied, "Not too good myself. I still hear some ravings and some illusions, and have some illusions. I wasn't a doctor specializing in mental health. I might even think that I have some sort of disorder." As he spoke, his face grew solemn. I followed Hood Yugen and the instructions to ignore those illusions and ravings. Asian fish markets, yes. Um, that made me feel much better, but they still affect my sleep, and I have become more grumpy and short-tempered. I'm not like myself, as though another new me is growing from within. Or maybe it could be described as a new character. I'm very worried and terrified that I might suddenly lose control one day. Just as I have predicted, I didn't even need to divine to see that coming. Having prepared for this, Klein smiled and said, "You don't need to worry. You're a subsidiary member of the Nighthawks now. There are benefits for you. As an ancient organization, we master many methods to keep one from losing control. It isn't 100% effective, but it will definitely help you." Triss asked a shopkeeper or someone, what does a witch do after getting the witch formula? Shopkeeper? Would that be the apothecary? What the fuck is a shopkeeper that I know? Shopkeeper. Apothecary, maybe? I don't know. I can't think of anything else. Yes, it isn't 100% effective, but it will definitely help you. Besides, I'm willing to share with you my personal experience. You may know the man standing before you only used a month to shake off the shackles of illusions and ravings, and they haven't resurfaced. You should know from Hood Yugen and the other cadres that doing so is very difficult. For Sequence 8 telepathist, Klein bragged a little. "Officer, there's a bit of a lie in what you said, but it's mostly true," Dexter said calmly. "What do you want from me?" Not a shot. Oh, the person. Oh, okay, so the member of the demonist sect. Yeah, yeah. Cause they said like they gave them the thing and they said, oh, like you want to progress. It's Sequence 7 witch, and he was like, witch, and then the girl said something to the effect of, why do you think all of our high level members or whatever the fuck you want to call them are women? Just yeah, I remember that interaction. Yes. It's tough to lie to a spectator, Klein said with a smile. It's not something that only I want to get. Miss Justice wants it too. Of course, he knew that Dexter would definitely assume that the Nighthawk squad wanted something. If your method is really effective or the item of information you want is within my reach, Dexter weighed his words. I will give you the perks in advance, Klein said straightforwardly. We want the telepathist formula. Good lord. My coffee jumped out at me. This is the consequence of having just fucking ice cubes everywhere. Holy shit. Jeez. He wouldn't hide the potion formula, but inform the captain as well. He would tell the captain that Dexter used it in exchange for his personal experience on bringing the potion under control. During the procedure, Klein would definitely verify the formula and accidentally memorize it in his head. Besides, he would use the fact that he used his personal experience in exchange for the formula to earn merit with the Nighthawks. By then, with his previous merits, he might not even need to put in the extra effort to apply for the clown potion and the main ingredients. A formula for 2 deals, quite a good bargain. Dexter looked at his eyes and kept quiet. For a while before he said, "You're very frank. I'll try my best to get the formula, but I'm not sure how long it'll take me. If it gets too dangerous, I hope I can replace it with something else." But that indicates that she knows. Maybe. Yeah, maybe. She might know about it. The only person I can think of would be... the only 2 people I can think of that might know the acting method would probably be Leonard, because he acts like a poet all the time. He says poetry all the fucking time. Or second, it would be the apothecary, because if that person is an apothecary and they have an apothecary shop, again, it could just be a fucking them just accidentally just lucking into it, but like that would imply maybe they know about it. A 3-way scam, literally. Yeah, Spectator is Justice and Nighthawks, exactly. Miss Justice is not really scamming anybody. She's just happy to pay her way through anything. £1,000? That's rather cheap. No problem. No problem. Klein didn't intend to force the request on the man. He then described the acting method vaguely. The key to resisting the loss of control lies within the names of the potion. We have to understand and learn its true meaning. You can't completely understand it by thinking about it. It must be understood through experience. For instance, as a spectator, you have to understand that you're only a spectator, not an actor. How a spectator should act is something that you need to discover through attempts and experimentation to deduce the principles required of you. From there, adhere to them strictly. The Bank of the Tarot Club, unironically. Like, didn't it say that Audrey is among the wealthiest of the aristocrats in Backland? Like, that is a fucking crazy sentence. Because, like, in these times, you have to remember, the wealth accumulation, well, I guess even today, you know what, fuck it, in all societies, wealth accumulation is so dense in the upper strata. And to say that she is among the wealthiest, or maybe the wealthiest, a noble lady in the capital city is a crazy sentence. This woman is like, I guess this girl is like, Jeff Bezos's ex-wife, like just swimming in money. Like she just has a Scrooge McDuckian vault in her basement. What the fuck? Daxter listened attentively, then he replied, "That's a brand new way to look at things. I'm willing to use the word theory to describe what you just said. It's like a theory of a play in opera. I'll try, and I hope it helps. If it really works, I'll try my best to get you the telepathist formula. May the goddess protect you." Klein didn't request the potion formula of a psychiatrist as well because he knew that it was a task that Daxter couldn't complete with his current position. He might end up exposing him if he wasn't careful. She's not part of the 1%. She's part of the 1% of the 1%. Like, it's crazy. Oh, by the way, okay. Sorry. This is like a really niche. I'm not sure if any of you or care, but I thought it was really cool. So recently the list of billionaires came out for 2024, I guess, or like the new updated list. And for the first time, the number of billionaires crossed 3,000. So it's like 3,018 or some shit, like just over 3,000. And the number was the top 15 billionaires are richer than the bottom 1,500 put together. Do you understand that like the top 1% owns more money than the bottom 50%, but the top 15 of the 1% own more money than the bottom 50% of the 1%? Like, that wealth accumulation is a wild thing to try to fathom. Sorry, I didn't mean to get like too political. I just thought that was really, I'm gonna say cool. Whatever. Thus, he planned to take it one step at a time by helping Daxter achieve a higher position in the psychology alchemist slowly. Then the long-term benefits would be abundant. Klein looked outside through the peephole in the door. Then he quickly left and turned to the small shooting range that was designed for the Nighthawks. He entered and locked the door. His face grew grave once again. When he was guessing the reason why the Church of the Goddess hadn't developed the acting method, he realized another thing that he overlooked. He had overlooked it because he had obtained two crucial factors in reverse order. It made him fail to consider a further consideration. Sorry, Milos. Yeah, again, a lot of numbers. Basically, all I mean to say is the top 15 billionaires have more money than the bottom 1,500 billionaires put together. Think about how rich you have to be to be a billionaire. And like how rich you are to the average person, and even then, it would be like you are compared to Jeff Bezos or like Elon Musk or Warren Buffett or whatever. You are so fucking poor to them that like me to a homeless guy is the same way that like Jeff Bezos would look at someone worth $1 billion. He'd be like, "Man, step your shit up. You're failing." Like, holy shit. The first matter was that the indigenous family was destroyed by the Church of the Evernight Goddess. The second was that the indigenous family had the seer sequence in its grasp, or at least most of it. As there was a long period of time between when Klein learned the two facts, he almost didn't piece them together. Since the indigenous family had a large majority of the sequence of the seer pathway, is it possible that the Church of the Evernight Goddess only received sequence 9? That hardly seems fair. They should have obtained more than that as a spoil of war. If yes, that's exactly, that's the only way to escape Nightwalker. That's it. You gotta find a 80-year-old billionaire, and that's it. All right, Milos, I will let you and Romero fight it amongst yourselves, because you tell me to look at it after the chapter, and then Romero yells at me and tells me to do it at the end of the stream. I don't fucking know. You guys figure it out amongst yourselves, okay? If a member of the Aurora Order got a hold of the clan potion from the Indigenous family, then what about the church that destroyed the Indigenous family? Even if the Indigenous family was well prepared and hid most of their valuables at the peak of the Hornacis mountain range, the Church of the Evernights wouldn't have gained so little. They were the ones who killed the family of the Indigenous. Furthermore, the dead can be made to speak. Oh, that's actually very clever. Even though you're both mods, Romero still outranks you, I guess. Alright, I'm going to get through this one, and then I'm going to take a little bit of a break. I'm still going to be here. I'm just going to play Nerdle, and then we will get back to doing the next two, okay? By the way, if you guys like math and like those daily games, I really recommend checking out Nerdle. I really love it. It's like my favorite daily game. It's just Wordle, but with calculations instead, and the calculations have to make sense. Like, you can't just put like any numbers. It has to be a calculation that actually adds up. So I like it. So if you like math and you like daily games, maybe consider it. The Fool's Real-Time Translator. A billionaire will have standards. Hey, you don't know, he could be a handsome gentleman. Who knows? And besides, if you're 80, like, anyone who's young will really do. Because fuck it, have you seen an 80-year-old man? Holy shit, on death's door. Klein paced around the small shooting range as he pondered over the intent of the Evernight Goddess regarding the seer pathway. Bro, you act like I don't have enough math? Wait, what do you mean I don't... Okay, I'm gonna need you to rephrase that for me, Romero. Bro, you acting like I don't have enough math. Oh shit. Okay, no, okay, you don't have to do it. I said if you like math, motherfucker. I'm not saying if you're good at it. I'm saying like if you like math and you're interested. Like, I like math, and mainly, and like I have a lot of math shit too, motherfucker. I have a accounting exam in a week, so fuck them. But yeah, I still like math. Do they not want Nighthawks to choose this pathway, or do they not want Beyonders to become powerful through this pathway? As such, they only revealed Sequence 9, which is clearly a support type. Captain also mentioned that the Holy Cathedral might have subsequent recipes. No, they didn't even provide the names of the sequence for 8 and 7 in the information that I read. They merely described the battle characteristics. In other words, they don't want those under them to realize the church might hold the actual formulas. But it's abusing me. What type of math? Like trigonometry or fucking calculus? What are you doing? Is there a possibility that Nighthawks who choose this pathway become vengeful spirits for the indigenous family, and thus the higher-ups made a decision like this? Or could there be another reason? I always struggle with numbers. I was actually talking about this with my parents last night. Math is kind of one of those weird fucking things that, even though like a creative type, like an English learner, like an English brain or whatever, like someone who's good at words and not math, they can be really intelligent, but it doesn't come across as the same intelligence as like math. I don't know why. I don't know what the logic is, but like if someone like says to me something really coherent and in like words and stuff, I'm like, okay, that's like really clever. But then if someone is like really good at math, I'm like, holy shit, this guy's fucking smart, dude. I don't know why. It just feels like it's a more smart thing, which it shouldn't. Like, it's not fair. Like, but I don't know. It's just one of those things. It just feels like it's what numbers? Math doesn't even have numbers. I agree. As soon as the Greek alphabet came in, I was out of my fucking depth there. Klein suddenly felt incredibly suspicious, a sense of intense wariness and vigilance towards the higher-ups of the church. He began considering whether he should openly hand over the special application to become a clown. If there are terrifying secrets behind this, wouldn't I be jumping into the fire? Frankly, I'm not the kind of person that can be placed under strict investigation. But the Tinjan branch has handed the clown formula over to the church. Any seer who learned of this would hope to advance. Isn't that normal? Sequence 8 is still considered a low sequence, so it shouldn't invite too much attention, right? Even after... oh, I know, Nightwalker. I get it. The only problem that I would have is that it would take a month to completely digest the potion and submit an application. If the higher-ups are familiar with the acting method, they would realize what I did. Of course, I do have an excuse. I know Spirit Medium daily, after all. Old Neil, who is strict in abiding the Mystery Prior's maxim, is also my friend. I can claim that I gained inspiration from them and refined the acting method. That isn't too hard to believe. Yes, even Daly received attention from the higher-ups after showing signs of digesting a sequence 7 in 3 years, and is now being nurtured to become a full archbishop. Being at the stage of clown shouldn't garner too much attention unless they fully digest it in a few months, giving them confirmation that I have truly mastered the acting method. A lot of stuff. Calculus, series, relative acceleration, probably... fair enough. Calculus, series, I'm okay with relative acceleration. Jesus Christ, that sounds horrible. The whole conversation is another reason why Monster's the best. That may be. I don't know anything about Monster yet, and if it's... Plus, I have to ask, how the fuck do you act like a monster? Like, do I have to, like, hide under children's beds and scare them at night, or, like, in their closets? Like, what the fuck is happening here? Man, the FBI agent who's listening into me is gonna have so much shit to put me in jail for forever for by the time I'm done reading this fucking book. Wait, hold on. In other words, applying for the clown potion isn't a risky move. I can continue with that plan, but I should pay more attention in the future. I'll take things one step at a time. I'll do a divination back home. Klein collected himself and took out his revolver from his holster before carrying on with his daily shooting practice. The quality, just be neurodivergent, and you have acted like a... I'm perhaps already too neurodivergent. I've been trying to become more fucking normal anyway, so... that one's probably not good for me. The quality of the revolver that he had gotten from his schoolmate, Welch, was unexpectedly good. Without any surprise, it would last for quite some time. Of course, he had to credit Dunn and Leonard for teaching him how to maintain a revolver. Sorry, I feel like that's really loud. I'm gonna turn this down. Sorry, that felt incredibly loud. It would last for quite some time. Of course, he had to credit Dunn and Leonard for teaching him how to maintain a revolver. To be honest, it doesn't matter if it's damaged. These are all things I can request compensation for. Klein looked at the target, put his revolver away, and left the shooting club. He took the public transport back to 2 Daffodil Street. Before arriving at his destination, he saw a young lady pacing about his door. This lady was dressed in blue lacy dress as well as a thinly veiled hat. She was Melissa's classmate, Elizabeth, and her adorable baby Fat. She quickly approached when she saw Klein arrive, taking on her hat to reveal her joyful face. Good afternoon, Mr. Moretti. I'm guessing that you just came back from Lamet Town, right? I'm sorry, I came back this morning, Klein smiled. No, I came from Zootland Street. Yes, that was a very honest answer. Elizabeth froze for a moment and said, "All right, I guessed wrong. I came to look for you because I wanted to tell you that I didn't have that nightmare last night. I no longer dreamed about the knight in black armor. This was the exact same as the result of your divination. Of course, that wraith was completely purified by 3782. I couldn't channel his spirit even if I was there, much less your dream. I'm happy that you found freedom from your troubles. I'm also very satisfied with my divination." Thank you. Thank you once again. All right, I have to go now. I have lessons in the afternoon. Bye, Mr. Moretti. I'll visit Melissa when I have the time. Elizabeth left joyfully. Yes, exactly. As the carriage began to roll forward, she smiled and thought proudly, Melissa doesn't know how great her brother is. It seems as though my explanation just now was useless. Young ladies would rather trust their intuition and the truths their mind made up. Uh, Klein saw Elizabeth board the carriage and open the door to his house. He rested for a while before beginning to consolidate everything that had happened over the past week, including questions he had yet to resolve. After completing the task, he burned his notes and took out his pocket watch and opened it. Good lord. 2:30. There's another 15 minutes left. Seeing that he still had time, Klein put on his oh my god, oldest suit and headed to the Smitherin bakery at the Ironcross Street to buy a cup of sweet iced tea from Mrs. Wendy. He drank his beverage as he returned, then sealed the room with a wall of spirituality at 15 minutes to 3. No, we agree. No, we agree. We're not. At least I don't think Nightwalker's saying that. I just think it's like such a cute thing to say about like a 15-year-old. Like, oh, she still has baby fat. Like, he drank. Yes. In the quiet ancient palace, Klein conjured a piece of goat skin and wrote a divination statement. I should obtain the Klein potion through the Nighthawks. He put his pen down and untangled the spirit pendulum on his wrist. He grabbed the pendulum firmly with his left hand, allowing the topaz to be suspended right above the piece of paper. He recited the statement 7 times. His eyes darkened and pendulum in his hand started to turn. It turned clockwise. It's a positive answer, so it is appropriate. But it'll be hard to say for the sequences after clown. I should seriously develop my tarot club. Sound! How's it going? Thanks for joining. I should seriously develop my tarot club. Klein did another divination to confirm the answer. After this, he pressed his hand. He used his hand and pressed down on the dark star representing the sun. Username. Thanks for joining. He wanted to bring the youth from Silver City in early and ask if he revealed whatever had happened in this world to the 6-member council. If he hadn't, Klein would give him a better way of knowing what time the gatherings would start. In the room of the Burge household in the city of Silver, Derek sat silently by the side of the bed, waiting for the full summoning. In order to avoid being near anybody, he didn't go outside the house after he returned. He had nearly finished all the food in his room. I appreciate you guys being here. It means they're still baby-faced, which teens hate. Exactly, yeah. It's like, I had, like, my cheeks were all like big and stuff up all the way up until I was probably like 14, and fuck, when someone would be like, oh my god, it's so cute, I'd be, fuck man, I want to throw myself out a window. Yeah, Queen, me too. Bearing with the hunger and hearing the growls of his stomach, Derek felt as though he was a living corpse roaming around in dark plain. However, he remained silent, nor did he stand. At that moment, he saw a dark red color spread in the air, quickly swallowing him. The gray, boundless, cold... Oh, by the way, quick thing. It probably won't be for a long time if it ever gets revealed at all. I am so curious what the fuck this gray fog place is, and do we ever get to learn... If someone can just give me a yes or no, I don't need to know. Obviously, don't give me any spoilers or anything. But do we ever get to learn why Klein has access to this place? Like, I'm so curious. Like, what this place is, I'm sure they'll explain. But, like, do we get an answer for why Klein has access to this place beyond just he's the chosen one? Fuck, man. This place is so cool. Like, this place protected him from a fucking god. Yes. Okay, dope. Fantastic. Oh, Light. I didn't even know you were here. Okay, dope. Okay, thanks, everyone. I'm literally... autistic. I can definitely say I was a little monster. The gray, boundless, cold, lonely world appeared in his field of vision again. Seated at the seat of honor, the fool who was obscured by the thick fog presented himself in front of him once again. No, I know. Yeah, I figured if it ever gets revealed, it would be a really, really long time from now. Like, maybe chapter like 800 or 900, maybe even later. So I figured it would be in a long time. I just wanted to know, like, that gets answered, right? Klein was satisfied that his summoning wasn't interrupted. He also confirmed that he didn't face any immediate danger. Son, we meet again, he said smilingly. Derek was shocked by what had happened. He lowered his head. You are a fool who keeps his word. The other members will arrive in a while. Before that, I'll confirm a few things with you. Klein used the loan language this time, but willed the mysterious space to translate it. Whoa, what the fuck? The words rang through the air, coming to Derek in Jotun. Well, now that I've gained a certain mastery of Jotun, the mysterious space above the grey fog can translate what I say in real time. This means that I won't have to worry about Justice and the Hanged Man not understanding whatever the sun says. Why does a boss like me have to work so tirelessly? Okay, don't dislocate your shoulder patting yourself on the back that hard, motherfucker. Let's go. Alright. Same with my poor parents, yeah. Oh, my parents, for the longest time were like super worried about me because they were like, we don't know how he's going to turn out. I mean, that was a fair concern to have, don't get me wrong. But when I think about me as a kid, Jesus. Yeah, it literally does everything for him. Like, holy shit, like this place is goated. Yeah, exactly. That's what I was like, that's kind of a wild thing to say. Like, I get that he wants to be called a fool, but like, even still, if I was like, in his position and someone just said that to me, I'd be like, hey, watch your fucking tone, boy. What's up? I'll permit you to recite my name. Remember the incantation I'm going to tell you. The fool that doesn't belong to this era, the mysterious ruler above the grey fog, the king of yellow and black who wields good luck. Klein's pupils constricted when he heard that, but he didn't dare to get distracted. He recited it over and over in his heart and then confirmed it with the fool. You have to use a simple ritual and recite my name whenever you return to the City of Silver. I'll notify you in advance for future gatherings. You need not pay much attention to it on other days, nor do you have to avoid anyone. When you receive my notification, isolate yourself within 1,000 heartbeats. 1,000 heartbeats? How many times is... What the fuck? Is that like 15 minutes? How many times? What's the normal heart rate? Like 60 per minute? Or what is it? 60 to 100. Well, I guess if he's giving me, if he's giving him, let's say 100, let's say if he gets like excited or whatever, or like nervous that he's been called, I'd give him like 10 minutes. I mean, and I guess since he can't use regular time, that's not bad. That is a goated summoning. Holy shit. The true VPN, yes. Klein described the general idea of the Tarot Club to Derek. He then took out his pocket watch and looked at time. 60 for resting, 80 for normal activity. Cool. Yeah, 10 to 15 minutes. That seems fair. I think my resting heart rate is like 48 or something. 45. I don't know, something like that. Klein described, yes, to the general idea of the Tarot Club to Derek. Dr. Z, is that good? Like 45, 40, is that too low? Is that good? Is that bad? Sorry, I don't know what I'm getting distracted. I'm sorry. Sorry. Derek froze for a while, instinctively looking at the wondrous item. When three approached, Klein extended his hand and pressed on the dark stars representing Justice and the Hanged Man. Derek didn't blink as he witnessed this. He saw light burst forth opposite and beside him, as two hazy figures extended from within. Audrey Hall surveyed her surroundings and froze suddenly. She then heard the ever-calm voice of the fool. This is our newest member. His code name is Sun. This is Miss Justice, and that is Mr. Hanged Man. Newest member? Audrey was shocked at first, and the shock immediately turned to joy. She was excited that she was probably no longer the dumbest person in the Tarot Club. Let's go. Yeah, like 5 days like 5 days a week, and then rock climbing on top of that. But rock climbing is like maybe twice per week. Yeah, sorry. I don't know, since you were there, and I was like, yeah, fuck it, might as well ask. She was excited to see the development of the Tarot Club. She felt like a protagonist. The Hanged Man creased his brows, a little upset that the fool would drag in a new member so suddenly. He should have at least mentioned it to us, but a great figure like Mr. Fool wouldn't have cared about our feelings. He thought in exasperation before giving a simple greeting to Justice and the Sun. In the short process, Audrey entered her spectator state and paid close attention to the newest member, Sun. Hey, Audrey's smarter than Forrest and no, I agree. No, I don't mean like dumb as in like unintelligent. Don't get me wrong. I just meant like as in the areas related to a Beyonder. She feels so inadequate, right? Because Aldra clearly knows so much stuff. Klein pretends to know so much stuff, so she must feel like a pretender in here. But now that there's a new member, she can be like, oh, yes, no, I've got it. Oh, thanks, Fool. I appreciate you popping by, buddy. Hope to see you again tomorrow. Hope you have a good rest of your day. Yeah, so, like, she probably just feels good knowing, like, oh, there's someone here who who knows less than me. So, like, that's got to feel good. Like, have you ever entered a room where you definitively felt like the dumbest person? Holy shit, that is a horrible place to be. Fuck. He should, yes. In the short process, Audrey entered, nope, already read that. He should be quite young. His body language tells me that he's a little nervous and restrained, but he ultimately maintains a tolerable air of silence, giving him the feeling of a lone wolf. Yes, a lone wolf. Audrey thought as she cast her gaze at the Fool, who was seated at the end of the long bronze table. She said in joy, Mr. Fool, I've collected another 2 pages of Emperor Rozel's diary. Inexperienced, yes, that's probably a better way of putting it, Romero. Yeah. Oh, I agree, but in her mind, she doesn't know that, right? She probably just goes like, oh, well, since he's so new, he probably doesn't know much. And even if he knows more about the Beyonder, she at least feels a little bit more comfortable in the Tarot Club. So, it's always handy to know, like, I'm not the most uncomfortable person here. That by itself puts you at a little ease, if that makes sense. Or I might just be talking out of my ass. I don't know. Alright, we'll do another 2 chapters. I'm just going to quickly do the Nerdle to give myself a little bit of a rest. So while I'm doing that, tell me guys, how's your day going? Any plans for the weekend? Okay, that's not bad. That doesn't work. What if I do... I will sleep? Oh, come on, Nightwalker. You gotta give me more than that. You got something planned. Come on. Okay, so no multiplication. I will procrastinate reading. Dude, I have to get started on studying. Holy shit. I have my tax exam in 48 hours, and I haven't even started studying. This is going to be so fucking... If I don't start today, I'm actually going to be in trouble. But, like, I'm so close to the graduation. Like, it's so hard to find any motivation, man. Holy... That's never gonna work. What am I talking about? Our weekend is Thursday and Friday. Interesting. That it'll just be chill, do some laundry and cooking. Nice. I will get a second job this weekend. Oh, interesting. Just like a part-time job or another full-time job, Dr. Z? 17 plus... And what kind of job, if you don't mind sharing? You don't have to, obviously. What the fuck is this? Excuse me, why do I not have anything yet? 21 minus... No, this doesn't work either. Why am I so stupid? 13? No, it can't... Okay, it has to be a 7. Get it together. Can't be divide, because then that would be kind of a 7's a prime, so it'd be a thing. So maybe this, or no, what if it's 7 minus 3 times 1, 4, that doesn't do that. 3 equals 12. 9. Wait, no. Wait, no. That's why can't I do integers? This is so bad. Oh shit, that's not good. Oh, in a pharmacy. Oh, that's cool. Tonight I have to do my math homework for my 7-hour math class. Excuse me? What is there, like you go in at like 9 a.m. and then you just study math till 4? Okay. Okay, so like a 4 hours a day. Okay, so kind of a part-time job, but like depending, but if you're working, I assume 5 days a week, I presume. Okay. 7, what the okay, I'm actually losing my mind. What is happening here? 75. Okay. 77 divided by fuck off, come on. Divided by 11. This is obviously not the answer. Yeah, I got it. 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. Oh my god, that sounds horrible. I assume you guys hopefully get a couple of breaks in between at least. What are you studying to be, Ramiro? Are you studying to be like an engineer? Okay, so so it has to be 7. I'm holding back tears. 7 hours a day almost reminded me of my university entrance exam. Hold on, Dr. C, how long was your university entrance exam? What? 12. 6. That'd give me equals 12. Wait, what? I'm sorry. Minus 0.6. I'm stupid. Okay, so there is a plus sign. Okay. So it's not there. Okay, I'm probably engineering. This is for university entrance? Hold on. You have a 7-hour class so I assume this is like preparing you for the entrance exam for the university. Oh, I'm gonna have a stroke. Holy shit! You have one. So, but wait, you said 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. So that's 8 hours. So it's 7 hours of studying and then a 1 hour break somewhere in the middle. So you're there for 8 hours, basically. I studied seriously for a year. 50 hours a week. Oh my fucking god. Preparation. Holy shit, dude. What? Do you have when's your exam exam date for the entrance? In the final 3 months, it was 70 hours. 70 hours a week, not counting resting. So you were averaging 10 hours a day of studying? Fuck, dude. Like you woke up, ate, studied until you couldn't study, had lunch, studied until you couldn't study, had dinner. Yeah, no, I figured that, Dr. Z. No, I figured that. So, like, in like 7 months. And is this what your weeks are gonna, and is this what your like studying's gonna look like for the next 6 months? That's fucking insane, dude. This is why I'm an accounting major. Like my shit's a lot fucking easier. It reminds me I have an exam next month and I haven't opened a book yet. Yeah, no, unironically, I have my tax exam in 49 hours. It starts at 2 o'clock on Monday. Haven't even started. But it's fine. I'm smart. I'll figure it out. Actually, there were 3 pages, but the characters were complicated and too difficult to memorize. My difficult is only a little over 2 pages. I would have messed them up if I were to memorize more. The rest will have to wait until the next gathering, Audrey added. In what fucking universe does a engineer need to know about chemistry? Physics I get, no problem. Math I get, no problem. What in the actual fuck do you need to know chemistry for? Highest math exam in my class is 50 something? Oh. Wait, but I got the 100 scholarship in my #1 university for one of the top 3 most popular majors. Oh shit, that's based. Okay. That's actually awesome. The most I've ever read. 60. Dude, I study so unbelievably little. I don't know. Mainly, I will partially add that, again, I'm an accounting major, which means my shit is a lot fucking easier than it is for you guys. That's actually awesome, Dr. Z. Good for you. Yeah, like this, like, again, I'm an accounting major, so like I don't have to study that hard, but like I probably study cumulatively for my year as much as people do for like 2 exams. Like I don't study that much. Oh, dyslexia. Oh, holy shit. Okay, that must make it so much harder. Fuck, that's like, okay, that's just making it like an order of magnitude harder. I suffer day by day. New pages of Roselle's diary. Klein's mind stirred. He smiled and said in reply, when he already knew the answer, Miss Justice, what do you need? That's good. By the way, can how long have we been streaming for? Like a little, almost an hour and a half, I think. I have no idea because again, my YouTube is just showing that the stream crashed an hour ago, so I have no fucking clue. Audrey's eyes beamed with excitement. She replied in a reserved manner, "You know that I'll fully digest the Spectator potion soon. I hope that I can get the formula for the Telepathos potion so I can prepare the ingredients ahead of time. I know that there isn't much content for 2 pages of the diary, and it might not equal to the value of a Telepathos formula, so I can give you another page. I'll also pay you a sum of money on the side." Yes, please. 81 minutes? Okay, that's not that bad. Okay, thanks, Milosh. I'm not even kidding. Hold on. What the fuck is this? Like, my shit is showing that I crashed 50 minutes ago and it's just never come back. I'm so scared. I don't know if there's going to be a VOD for this. The country. Holy shit. Okay. I thought ours over here, Amnesiac, was bad. My cutoff for my university, I think at least I don't know what it is nowadays because I don't keep track, but like the year I applied for uni was, I think 92 was the cutoff, and again for accounting, so which is, yeah, and I think my average in high school was like 95 or something. So I got in pretty handily. I got a decent scholarship too. I mean, only for the first year, but like I got a decent scholarship. Fuck, man, 99.95. You get 1 A- and your fucking shit is on fire? The engineering pay in my country. I need to get out of here. And that is true, Ramiro. I will grant you that. But you also have to remember, the cost of, I don't know, but the cost of living in your country is probably like damn near 2 orders of magnitude cheaper. So like even if you make $300, if your monthly living expenses are like $80, and again, I'm pulling these numbers out of my ass. I could be completely off, by the way. But if you make 10 grand in the US, which by the way, I promise the average starting engineer does not make 10 grand. Promise. Your living expenses, if you're living in a major city, is 5-6 grand a month. So like you have to keep that in mind. But I get what you mean totally. Don't get me wrong. But if you want to move somewhere, like I'm not trying to move to the U.S., bro. Fuck that. I'm trying to move to like Switzerland or like Germany or some shit. Get the fuck out of here. The U.S. is in a state of decline. Okay, maybe not Germany with my skin color. They don't have the best history, but you know, maybe some other place. Who knows? I know that there is... yes, she had yet to finish what she said when she suddenly felt that it had come out wrong. She couldn't help but berate herself in her head. Mr. Fool is at the very least an important figure which approaches that of a god. How could he ever be bought over by money? Hence, Audrey couldn't maintain her spectator state as she hurried to stammer, "That's not what I meant, Mr. Fool. I mean that you can determine the compensation that you'd like. Yes, that's what I meant." You're in a constant state of steaming and not steaming. I'm an old monster, very wise, yes. Moon, good to have you. Thanks for joining. I like your earlier suggestion. I would answer like this. When you have fully digested the spectator potion, you will get the formula you need. I have a subordinate. No. I have to use another word. Adorer sounds more awesome. He happens to be handling some matters that requires money, and this is his anonymous account in Backland. Yes, I will disguise myself and make an anonymous account in Backland. Klein didn't answer immediately, but weighed his words carefully with an unfathomable expression. Streaming. Oh, I see. That makes much more sense. Oh, I see. You're in a constant state of streaming and not streaming in a superposition. I'm like a Schrodinger streamer, you know? I'm both streaming and not streaming at the same time. Come to Serbia, $1 can buy you an entire bag of popcorn. Backland Bank was one of the 7 major banks in the Lone Kingdom, and as such, it possessed the right to clear transactions. The Lone Kingdom settled accounts with receipts to take care of cash transfer business between banks within the same city in a centralized manner. What? Sorry, let me just read that in my head again. Okay. That seems fine. However, unlike banks in the Intes Republic, not all banks were part of the same league. The 7 biggest banks held on to these rights. Hence, they were called the clearance banks, making other banks rely on them. Serbia, transferring money from, sorry, I was reading Milosh's message at the same time. It just fucked me up. Transferring money from a different location, on the other hand, could only be done within the same bank. It would be completed by squaring accounts between branches. With the invention of the steam locomotive and telegram, the efficiency of these transfers enhanced greatly. Just then, the son, Derek Burge, suddenly spoke. The telepathist formula, telepathist that is followed by psyche analyst. Audrey looked at him puzzledly. You know of it. At the same time, Miss Justice saw a problem through her instincts as a spectator. The young man had used the ancient title, psyche analyst, instead of the modern term, psychiatrist. This guy's very strange, Audrey examined. Only works until observed by others. Exactly, yeah. Derek didn't think that he behaved any differently, but replied seriously, I can get you the formula. Then he felt guilty as he couldn't provide it immediately. He tried his best to explain. It's a sequence pathway that stemmed from the dragon race. Holy shit. And our city of Silver was once ruled by the Giant King's imperial household. As you know, the giants and the dragons were sworn enemies. Hence, the city of Silver has sequence 9, 8, and 7. I have ways to get them. This kid. I had already warned him not to speak carelessly or expose his origins. In the end... Although the son appears to be in great pain, very mature and silent for his age, he's just a boy. However, that clarifies one thing. It turns out that the spectator sequence origins stem from the dragon race. It's no wonder that the symbol formed by the stars behind Miss Justice is the dragon. The City of Silver preserved history well. Klein maintained his posture, leaning back against the back of his chair while he listened thoughtfully to the son's description. Dragons, yes. Waves and oscillation syllabus. It's interchangeable, so not a problem. Yes, absolutely. A lot of lore. In fact, he could have easily stopped the son from exposing those matters as long as he didn't help in the simultaneous translation. Justice and the Hanged Man wouldn't have understood him at all. However, Klein took a different approach. He felt that it might help him consolidate his mighty and mysterious image in the minds of all 3. Hence, he listened with a smile and didn't make a sound. The info broker, yes. Giant King, Dragon Race, and the City of Silver. Audrey was confused. She first took a hint at the hanged man opposite her, but she could tell that he was as shocked as confused as her from his body language. She looked sideways towards the seat of honor. She saw the fool sitting on his high chair, engulfed in a grayish thick fog. His right hand was placed on the armrest, while he leaned sideways. He showed no shock, no curiosity, no thoughts, and no doubt. Only a smile. He knew. He knew all of this. Audrey and Alger made a definitive judgment. The City of Silver? I've never heard of this place. Where is it? Audrey probed. At that moment, Derek's eyes were filled with question as well. He could tell, besides the godlike fool, Justice and the Hanged Man were some sort of beyonders. In this forsaken land of gods, besides the people in the City of Silver, Derek had never seen another living human. So he asked, if you aren't residents of the Silver City, which city-state are you from? Klein couldn't help but wish to sigh again. Audrey trembled her lips, momentarily at a loss. I said the exact same thing. Quality of living, and especially quality of living relative to cost of living? Get the fuck out of here. Obviously, Alger had misunderstood the son's intentions as well. Yes, the hidden meaning behind his words is that if you don't want to answer a similar question, don't pry into questions about where the other person lives. Obviously, Alger had misunderstood the son's intentions as well. He didn't know the other person was really just asking straightforwardly, so he kept quiet. I would never go to the U.S. Okay. How much did he get tariffed, Romero? Do you know offhand? I don't know if you keep track of any other politics stuff or anything. When Derek didn't receive any response, he seemed to realize what was happening. He didn't bring it up again, and instead said, "Norway is more my alley." I totally agree. Norway, any of the Scandinavian countries, Switzerland. I will try to get the telepathist formula as soon as I can. I would like to use it to exchange for the beginning sequence of the sun. Sun sequence pathway, sequence 9 Bard? Alger asked in reply. Derek thought and said, probably, but I lack information about it. I think 44%. Holy shit, dude. Klein, who was watching from the side, decided to get involved because he didn't want to risk anyone taking his business away. I believe Miss Justice doesn't have the Bard formula, but Mr. Hangman seems to be able to get it. Sorry. Okay, sorry, I was just doing some basic calculations there. Seeing Audrey nod, continued with a faint smile. Klein continued with his faint smile. I'll give the sun the Bard formula. The sun will pass the telepathist formula to Miss Justice as soon as possible. Try to get it done within 2 gatherings. Miss Justice, please pass me the pages of the Roselle diary, then the deal is done. Yes, according to the law of equivalent exchange, the son is on the losing side of this transaction, but as of now, he has only made a promise. When he really provides the telepathist formula, Miss Judge can consider how to compensate him again. Or I will compensate him while Miss Justice provides money to one of my adorers who needs to do something recently. That's because the son might not necessarily be able to receive Miss Justice's cash or ingredients. Klein intentionally added that final statement to redirect the Hanged Man and Justice's focus onto the fact that Sun might not be able to receive her compensation. He also did that to place himself in an unfathomable position. Then everyone would ignore the adorer that needed money. Might not necessarily receive the compensation. Where exactly is the sun? The southern continent? The origin of the sun is mysterious too. As expected, Mr. Fool does have subordinates in reality. Audrey finally saw the hope of her becoming a Sequence 8 telepathist. What other thoughts could she have? She suppressed her excitement and flashed a faint smile. Dude, how much fucking money do you figure Klein's gonna ask of her? Like, do you think he's gonna ask £1,000? Holy shit, this motherfucker would be swimming. She expressed her excitement and flashed a faint smile. I have no objections. Neither do I. When Derek saw that he could obtain the beginning sequence of the sun, he nodded without hesitation. He couldn't care less about the additional compensation. Alger, who was out of the three-way deal, didn't have the right to speak. Although he could get the formula for the Bard, he would need to wait a week or two as well. At that moment, Klein, who had successfully delayed the compensation... Wait, does he have the formula for the Bard? Is that... I can't remember. Like, did he get it from EBS yesterday? He might have. I don't have it in my notes. Someone can confirm it for me. At that moment, Klein, who had successfully delayed the compensation to the next gathering or the following one, pressed his palms happily. The Bard formula surfaced. Okay, no, he did. Okay, never mind. I don't need anyone to confirm shit. It's right fucking there. Main ingredients: a crystal sunflower or an adult flint bird's tail or a firebird's tail feather, a piece of Siren rock or a singing sunflower. Supplementary ingredients: a blade of midsummer grass, 5 drops of July wine juice, a blade of elf dark leaf. He sent the formula before the sun and saw the young man first crease his eyebrows and relax. Leaving your country is not an easy choice. I mean, life here is not easy, but even in my hometown... That's true, Dr. Z. That's, sorry, but yeah, I'm sorry, Romero, okay? It told me in a second. It's fine. I would have gone there. That's probably true, Dr. Z, but, like, a part that I always think about is... like... Maybe, you know, if someone just wants a fresh start, if they decide, like, you know what, for whatever reason, like, whatever's going on here is just not working for them, it's not bad to have a fresh start. And if, it's at least, if, like you said, it's easy to be misunderstood, and especially if you feel, like, lonely wherever you do live, if you at least move out there, it's a good place to get a, start, and then you can start trying to reach out to people as like a fresh slate, right? Because you have a good reason why you don't know anyone here. But like, imagine if where you live you don't have friends, or like you don't have anyone you like or whatever, or like spend time with. It's really hard to enter as someone who's been there for a while but doesn't have a social circle, because it's kind of like, well, what is up with that guy, you know? So I get what you mean, don't get me wrong, but I think there are times or reasons that someone just decides, like, hey, you know what, a fresh slate is good. He said, yes, the ingredients in the Forsaken Land of the Gods will still be known by their ancient names. Luckily, my formula was obtained directly from EBS. The knowledge that I gained using ancient names and replacements, Klein suddenly cast his realization towards justice. Audrey looked at the son who was memorizing the formula, then she quickly willed the 2 pages of the diary that she had memorized. The diary immediately appeared on the yellowish-brown goat skin with a flash appeared in Klein's hands. Just like before, he started reading. November 3rd. Matilda is 3 months pregnant now. I even find those maidservants who come from the village is beautiful. No, I can't lower my standards. Coincidentally, Countess Floris has invited me to join a private party. This motherfucker starting a harem? What is happening here? Have a whole Discord social circle. November 8th. Archbishop Van Esten sought my help. What can I do for an archbishop? November 9th. It turns out there's actually a hidden secret hidden within the sequence pathways. Esten told me after becoming a sequence 5 potion, the rest could be replaced with sequences of the same level. Wait, hold the fucking phone, what? Okay. After becoming a sequence 5 Beyonder, rest can be replaced with sequences of the same level from 1 or 2 other pathways. If it's replaced with a potion from a wrong pathway, if it's replaced with one from the wrong pathway, one may go insane and cannot progress further. Holy shit, that is actually a wild thing. Okay, so hold on. So okay, so at least in my guess then, so it seemed like, okay, before the sequences were like, okay, there's like 22 sequences, whatever. Now it seems much more like, it's more like separate sequence, and then they converge into one, and then they have like one end goal. We're gonna say potion 0, okay? And then there's like another, what the fuck was that drawing? Jesus. Another sequence, and then they progress to another 0 or another finality. So it seems more like it's not 22 separate sequences. It's like, I don't know, they said 2 or 3, so like maybe 7 or 10 combined hyper sequences. I don't know, whatever, something. Okay, so it seems more like they're not 22 individual sequences. They're more like divergences of a sequence that at a higher level can be confined, because they said at a higher sequence level you start getting like non-related stuff, like non-related powers, and that non-related power probably ends up at sequence 5, where it makes you enough like wholly part of whatever the sequence chain is to make you just one, and then progress as like one part of it. Interesting. Sorry, hold on, I'm reading. I didn't have chat. Hold on. Y'all forgot Klein and Leonard. ASIC exists, is it whatever? W theory. Let's go, dude. I got something. I got to hear something good from Ramiro. You have to understand. Maybe true, maybe false. Yes. No, that's fine. But the fact that Ramiro said something good about one of my theories is wild, okay? Because this motherfucker will shit on me regardless. I come up with like what I thought was like the coolest theory, and this motherfucker goes, motherfucker's just cooking random shit. I'm like, okay, never mind though, apparently. But okay, I got something good from Ramiro. That means that was a good theory. Let's go. Okay. That's cool. Semi-insanity is the, yeah. So, but then I guess the flip side is like, if I'm, let's say if this is seer, I don't fucking know, okay? Let's say like a seer, and then like maybe like an no, not an alchemist. What the fuck? Oh, what is the formula that the telepathists have? Spectator. So let's say like seer and spectator, for example, are the same. I don't actually know if they're part of one, but let's just say, right? Obviously, I'm too early to try to make a guess, but like, they seem conceptually like they could be similar enough. Like a seer is someone who guides someone on their path because they give them shit, and a spectator is someone who just watches someone else's life play out. So let's say theoretically they're the same. So after enough level ups, you can get to the same place. You can get to here. That's an arrow, by the way. Sorry. But if I'm like a seer, and then I take like and then I get to sequence 5, whatever the dog shit that's called, and then I take, let's say, and then let's say I take like sequence 5 guardian from the warrior pathway. Well, now that's a whole separate thing. So I'm trying to become like a whole nother motherfucking thing, and then the potions don't mix, and then I just become fucking lunatic, because whatever is happening is like I assume the sequences or beyond or potions or whatever are enhancing your spirituality. But if they try to enhance it in 2 different ways, your soul just gets ripped apart because it's being pulled in separate directions. But, okay. Okay. Yes, this way one can begin substituting pathways from sequence 4 onwards. Sleepless and Corpse Collector pathways. Yes, the Church's Savant and Mystery Prior can be substituted for one another. Ooh, interesting. Okay, hold on. Let me write that down. So, Sleepless Sleepless and Corpse Collector can be substituted, and Savant and Mystery Prior can be substituted for one another. Okay, cool. Interesting. Okay. So that makes sense, though, the Sleepless and Corpse Collector, because those are the two that the Church of the Evernight Goddess mainly want to give out to their peeps. Like, they have the Seer sequence, but they don't really want peeps to take them, because they only talk about sequence 9, and that's, you know, doesn't exactly inspire a lot of confidence. So it makes sense that they would be of one pathway, because then regardless of if they're low on, let's say, ingredients for higher level potions for one, they can just give them the other one for sequence 4 and above and just be like, take them, whatever. Mystery Prior and Savant, maybe whatever fucking god he has, whatever church has those, I don't fucking know, does those ones, okay? Has the same reasoning. But then I guess the flip side is that must mean the church higher-ups have some intimate knowledge of stuff, because that's like a really cool piece of info. I really want to read the comments, but I won't. That's like some really what the fuck was I gonna say? Like, that's some really intimate knowledge, but that must also mean like they have to know about other shit. Like, I feel like the acting method would seem really basic to try to figure out, but I mean, I don't know. Church of Steam and Machinery has those. Okay, yeah. So like, because that seems like a reasonable thought process for any church elder to go through, right? Like, I want to have assuming, let's say this theory is right, I would want to have both or all three or whatever of, fuck me, I just fucked that up really bad. I'd want to have this whole sect to myself, and then another church can have this, no problem. Because then now we're not fighting amongst each other for materials and stuff, because generally what they said was like the lower sequence stuff, I don't know why I keep drawing shit. The lower sequence materials are not uncommon, so they're pretty easy to find, but at the higher sequences it gets more and more rare. So if I can have 2 or 3 of them that I can substitute for while I'm finding other shit and not have to fight with other churches for it, that's fucking great. And then it's mutually beneficial for everybody. It's kind of like like a oligopoly in like a business sense. I'm gonna delete that, but cool. You know what? Fuck it. We'll just do 145. While they do that, give me 2 seconds. I'm just gonna run out and grab water really quickly, and then we'll just do 145 and just call it quits there. All right, give me 2 seconds. Sorry about that. No, I think I brushed the microphone, so I might have just given you guys a fucking heart attack there. All right, let's get through 145. My throat's really starting to kill me now. Some pathways are interchangeable after 5. That's different from what the Nighthawks told me. Wait, what? When? Isn't it a fact that you can't change pathways? Well, yeah, I guess. Wasn't it mentioned that diverging from your pathway would allow one to obtain strange, mysterious powers, but that person would definitely go insane and never be able to advance? To think that there would be some hidden exceptions to this. He looked at the diary in Klein looked at the diary, his pupils constricting. He didn't think that Roselle would spout nonsense about something like this. After all, the surprise in his words were so real. He didn't assume that the information Roselle had received was definitely correct. There was also a possibility that he'd been lied to or misinterpreted the information. That's possible. I doubt it, but it's possible, because Roselle's the king. This guy's fucking legend. I doubt someone's lying to this motherfucker. I mean, it's possible, I guess, but unlikely. If what Roselle described here turns out to be correct, then the sequence pathways go deeper than I thought. It hides many secrets. The complete pathway possessed by the Nighthawk is Sleepless. They also possess a relative complete path in the Corpse Collector, which goes up to 4. To think that they're interchangeable after 5, the other potion chains are even less complete. Some are only known as some pathways only possess the first sequence. Similarly, the Church of the God of Steam and Machinery holds a complete pathway of the Savant and has a relative complete pathway for Mystery Prior. Yeah, oh yeah, I guess he wasn't always king, so someone, I guess, if he's not king at this point, someone could just be lying to him. That's fair. They can also be interchanged at higher sequences. Let me just write down that possessed by the Evernight Church, possessed by the Church of Steam and Machinery. Okay. Wait, hold on. Okay. Yes, and there's a high possibility that the first 5 sequences of the Seer pathway would provide a separate ability, and that these abilities would combine at sequence 4. At that stage, there should be no way to interchange with some other potion. Klein retracted his thoughts, once again placing his attention onto the diary. He noticed that although the 2 pages were connected, the contents were not in chronological order. The dates belonged to 2 different periods. This could be a mistake by whoever copied the content. Unlikely, but possible. April 9th, the relationships between the Church of the EBS and the Lord of the Storm and the God of Knowledge are poor. They see each other as enemies. The Church of the Evernight is at odds with the God of Combat from the Faceac Empire. This can be taken advantage of. These are all facts worth considering. April 13th, my birthday! I participated in an ancient organization's gathering. I never expected them to be members of this organization as well. Wait, did I? Wait, what? Oh shit, never mind. Yes, I did. These can also be interchanged at high sequences. I wonder which pathway is interchangeable with the Seer pathway, the Apprentice, or the Marauder that was mentioned by the Empire. I didn't skip anything before this, right? Yes, okay. There's a high possibility. Yes. He noticed that although the 2 pages were connected, the contents were not in chronological order. Alright, April 13th. Am I losing something? Okay, you know what? Fuck it. We'll come back here. We'll just read all of it. Fuck it. Okay. The other potion chains are even less complete, yes. Similarly, the Church of God, Steam and Machinery holds a complete pathway of the Savant and has a relatively complete pathway for the Mystery Prior. These can also be interchanged at high sequences. Interesting. I wonder which pathway is interchangeable with the Seer pathway, the Apprentice, or the Marauder mentioned by the Empire. Oh, I should write that down? Okay. I will do that when I get to it in a second. Okay. There's a high possibility that the first 5 sequence pathways of the Seer pathway would each provide a separate ability, and that these abilities would be combined at sequence 4. At that stage, there should be no way to interchange with some other potion. Klein retracted his thoughts, once again placing his attention onto the diary. He noticed that although the 2 diary pages were connected, the contents were not in chronological order. The dates belonged to 2 different periods. This could be a mistake by whoever made the copy. April 9th, the relationship between the Church of the EBS and the Church of the Lord of Storm and the God of Knowledge and Wisdom are poor. Okay, let's write this down. So, EBS, Lord of Storm, and the God of Knowledge have poor relations and see each other as enemies. Oh my fucking god, I can't type. Evernight Church and god of combat are also at odds. Okay, these are all facts worth considering. April 13th, I participated in an ancient organization's gathering. I never expected them to be members of this organization as well. It sure was frightening. To think that the second blasphemy slate was in the hands of this organization. This is the first time I'm seeing this legendary item. Holy shit. A ancient organization, no name mentioned, possessed the second blasphemy slate. Okay. Okay. Holy fuck, Emperor, why didn't you specify the name of the organization? You're fucking killing me. Perhaps Roselle had a reason, or he didn't dare write down the name of the organization, even if he was using Chinese. Klein looked at the diary a little uncomfortable and puzzled. But with the page of the diary, Klein could finally confirm that Roselle had seen the second blasphemy slate. Furthermore, he created a set of cards after that, each represented by a path to godhood. Yes, that could be the ultimate secret that matches each pathway to godhood. I wonder where that set of 22 cards are now. The ancient organization managed to obtain the second blasphemy slate. Is the set of 22 cards, isn't that just the tarot cards? Or the tarot cards came from the first blasphemy slate and the second one he had another set that he made, maybe? Can someone tell me? Or if you can't tell me yet because it's spoilers, just let me know. But he quickly reined in his thoughts. He shifted his gaze away from the diary and shot it towards Hangman Justice and the sun, and he smiled. Actually, you didn't need to wait for me. It's our honor. Alger had already reined in the dissatisfaction as he answered humbly. Audrey thought for a moment before smiling. Mr. Fool, the open selection of the government officials through the examination that you described previously. Did I miss a lot? Am I fucking losing my mind? Okay. Indeed, it was hiding an unimaginable secret. Perhaps there will come a day when I will learn a blasphemy slate unique to me. No, a set of them, with each hiding an ultimate secret. I think that's the one I missed. Oh my fucking god. I'm so sorry, guys. You can tell my throat is hurting and I'm trying to get through this. Okay. I feel like that is some fucking Harry Potter level Roselle wanted to create a set. Oh, I see. Okay. He's becoming like easy. I'm sorry. This is like some Harry Potter level fucking foreshadowing. Like it's just I feel like that's where the fucking story's gonna end or some shit. Blasphemy cards are based on the blasphemy slate and made to look like tarot cards because Roselle was crazy and thought it would look funny. Oh, I see. Okay. I see. Okay. It's our honor. That's fine. Okay, Mr. Fool, the open selection of the government officials through examination that you prescribed previously had already garnered the support of the King and the Prime Minister. It will be soon passed by the House of Lords and the House of Commons. It is predicted to be implemented early next year. It looks like the King and the Prime Minister still use their brains, Alger mocked. Well, Benson's intellect and diligence, his grammatical and accounting skills should be passable by early next year. But once it's passed by the House, it will definitely be announced widely by the various newspapers. I wonder how long Benson's advantage will last. The earlier the examination, the better. Absolutely. Nightwalker, sorry, read that in mind till the point. Sorry, I don't catch your meaning there. Apologies. There's no way Benson can triumph over the elites who graduated from various universities in such a short period of time. But he'll not need to compete against them. The positions they're fighting for wouldn't be the same. These people might only have had their sights trained on positions such as cabinet ministers or finance secretaries. The silent Klein worried for his brother. Audrey straightened her back when she saw the fool's affirmative nod. She then smiled. "Mr. Hangman, you got me to check on something for you. I've got an answer. The king has been convinced by the prime minister and won't seek revenge on the Fasak Empire at the East Balam shore for the time being. I think you can give me that extra payment you promised." Oh, I see. Why do I think the churches are at odds? I don't know, man. Some religious bullshit. Who the fuck? Nah, I'm just kidding. Okay. Why would the churches be mad at each other? They could be trying to infiltrate them to try to get their knowledge. If, let's say, they maybe each... I'm just talking out of my ass here, because I'm not great at theory craft. Sorry, I already read it, Romero. Sorry. That's a loaded question. All good. No, I don't mind. I'll just theory craft really quickly. It's all good. It could be a couple of things. They could be trying to steal some information from each other. Maybe, let's say, I don't know. Again, I'm theory crafting and I'm not great at that. But let's say each major religion possesses like a part of the blasphemy slate, or like part of the first one, part of the second one, or whatever, and they're trying to gain the information that the other churches possess. Maybe, I don't know, and like they're pissed because one of them succeeded or whatever, or I don't fucking know, dude. I don't know. That's the best I guess I've got, which is probably dog shit right now. I don't know. Alder thought for a few seconds before saying, "Miss Justice, thank you for your answer. This eases my concern over certain things. What kind of extra payment do you want? You've already cooked the answer earlier." Oh, thank you. What kind of extra payment do you want? I'll consider it if it's within reason. Audrey smiled. Dr. Ramiro, it's all good, man. Clues to the psychology alchemist, or clues to the main ingredients of the potion of telepathist. Of course, that can wait until after the son hands over the formulas. No problem, Alger said. Yes. 2 seats away from the hanged man, Derek Berg couldn't understand a single word. He was very confused, feeling that he only understood understood a few terms, but couldn't string them together to provide any logical sense. A method of selecting officials through examination, King and Prime Minister, House of Lords, House of Commons, Balam Shore, Fasak Empire, Psychological Alchemist. He understood none of that. Fasak, the root of that word came from Yoan. What connection did it have to the fallen king's imperial household? Derek looked at the Justice and the Hanged Man, suddenly having the feeling that it might not come from the same world. Could there be another city-state? Or one that had formed a nation, somewhere far away from the City of Silver? Derek remained silent and listened on. He had a faint understanding of the mysterious fool. Okay, I understand why I'm so out of my depth. Sorry, there's no music playing, and my brain doesn't function unless there is. And I was like, what the fuck, dude? Okay, that should be better. Yes. Yes. Derek remained silent and moved on. He had a faint understanding of why the fool mentioned that he might not be able to receive the monetary compensation Justice was going to give him. To be able to gather people from this far away from each other, disregarding the terrifying monsters hiding in the darkness, the fool might really be a god, an ancient god. No, Ramiro, never. To be able to gather people nope, already read that. After accomplishing everything that she set out to do, Audrey wanted to become a silent observer, but she suddenly remembered something and spoke in a hurry. I recently came into contact with a Beyonder circle and found out a powerful man named Mr. A. Mr. Fool, the Hanged Man, Mr. Sun, do you know of this person's background and identity? I don't even know what you're talking about, Derek maintained. Mr. A, I only know Mr. Z. With such a similar code name, could they be from the Aurora Empire? Klein made a guess, but didn't give an answer. He had to maintain his image and not try to give answers he wasn't confident in. If he had to, he would give a vague description like a charlatan. I'm with the doctor. Alder looked at the fool and found him calm and unengaging. It was hard to read his true thoughts. The Aurora Order is at odds, oh for fuck's sake, is at odds with the Church of the Lord of Storm, the Church of EBS, and the Church of God of Knowledge. So members of these churches understand the Aurora Order more than any other organization. And I happen to know something about them. Aha. You need not explain. I know that you will come under the Lord of Storm. Of course, you could be a whistleblower, but why would there be hatred between the Aurora Order and the three ancient churches? Klein smiled but didn't speak. Alder knew that he couldn't hide his sequence pathway from the fool, but didn't pay too much attention to it and continued. The Aurora Order has 5 saints and 22 oracles. The oracles use the alphabet as their code names from A to Mr. X. They are Beyonders, with the weakest being sequence 7 and the strongest sequence 5. They are all adept at hiding themselves. Should an oracle die, a new oracle will take their place. 5 saints and 22 oracles. Well, who the fuck is Mr. Z then? Is there a Mr. X and Mr. Y who are like above the oracles but below the saints or some shit? What? Who the fuck are... Theoretically, there would be like a Mr. X and Z, no? We know there's a Mr. Z, but theoretically a Mr. Y should also exist. I cannot guarantee that Mr. A you spoke of is the A from the Aurora Order, but there's a good possibility. As for the details of the Aurora Order, I have mentioned that to you before. I don't consider you person. Mr. Z is Dr. Z. Strong possibility, strong possibility. We're not discounting that possibility yet. Very possible. She said, feeling a little pinch in her heart. Thank you for your answer, Mr. Hanged Man. You for your help with the answer just now, as well as provide extra compensation, Alder said. What help? Alder thought for a few seconds. I received intelligence that the pirate... Are you fucking kidding me with this name? Quilangos? What the fuck? Goes... Okay, fuck it. I don't even care. Codenamed Rear Admiral Hurricane. He had secret... That's, okay, that Okay. Okay, this is truly One Piece out here. Okay. Has secretly gone on shore and infiltrated Backland. I do not know what he's up to, but I hope that you can help me locate him. As for whatever happens afterwards, you need not put yourself in danger. Rear Admiral Hurricane, one of the 7 Great Admiral Pirates. Audrey, 7 Great Admiral Pirates? Is that a reference to the 7 Warlords of the Sea? I think coincidence? I think not. Audrey widened her eyes, almost unable to maintain her spectator state. What was the thing she wanted to do the most after she became a Beyonder? It was, of course, to interact with people that only existed in the fables of nobles. Even if I was in that cursed organization, I would have been Mamsie. Perhaps. Or perhaps, if there's... Think about it. I'm just saying, okay? If there's a potion that makes a guy into a girl, is there theoretically the opposite? Think about it. I'm just saying shit. Okay. Yes, he's a sequence 6 Beyonder of the Path of Sailor, a Wind Blessed. He also has a miraculous item that can be classified as a sealed artifact. He's quite crafty and cruel. Do not attempt to deal with him. Mr. Fool, can I get your adorer to help me at a critical moment? I would pay a price that interests you. The only adorer I have is my goddamn self, Klein lampooned. That is built on the premise that my adorer happens to be on Backland. Alright, Alder retracted his gaze, a little disappointed, but also a little expectant. Alright. I think we made pretty damn good timing today. I think we should be just at about 2 hours 10, I think. 2:10, give or take. That was a pretty good timing. A little slower than normal, but we talked a lot of theory crafting and bullshit, so you know what? To be expected. Nope, I'm not reading all that. Fuck that. Yes, Milosh. Seriously, that meme you sent me fucking rolled me yesterday, dude. That shit was perfect. Holy shit. I want to say something, but I don't want to be banished. Okay. Okay, that's good to hear, Dr. Z. I often get to hear the exact opposite. Mutated Sun Sacred Emblem. Oh, that actually looks super dupe too. What the fuck? That's cool as fuck. I imagined it just like a brick. Hold on. Here's what I imagined it like. Gold. I was imagining it like the closest thing I could imagine off the top of my head. For fuck's sakes, not here, not shopping. What I was imagining was this. Okay, fuck's sakes, let me pull it up. Was this fucking DuPont lighter? This is what I was imagining because it said gold, and I was like, this is gonna be a fucking brick of gold. Yeah, speak your mind, Dr. Z. It's all good. Thanks, Sound. I appreciate it, buddy. Loan currency. That is cool. Okay, that's very reminiscent of the Japanese yen because I think there's a hole in the middle. Are there bigger notes? Because like the biggest I think we've seen yet is like a £5, maybe a £10 note. I don't even recall. Just clarifying, when they meant interchangeable at sequence 4, they can just change to another compatible pathway. They don't come together. Oh, interesting. Oh, hold on. Nope, not that. Let me pull up Paint again. So what you're saying is, still, I mean, I didn't get much use out of it, Sound, to be honest. Plus today I'm a little sick anyway, so even if I don't think it would have helped too much. So I just had some cold coffee that just cools me down. It helps a little. So what you're saying is, for fuck's sake, that is dog shit. Jesus. So what you're saying is it's not really this. It's much more like up until, let's say, sequence 5, you have to stay in your lane, but then afterwards, you can cross into other ones and not have any issues, basically, is what you're saying. It's much more that. Okay. For example, imagine you're sequence 3 and about to advance. You have multiple choices. They're still separate. Okay, so it's like any chance after 4, 3, 2, 1, 0, whatever the fuck, you can go, like, you can do this bullshit. Okay, cool. Okay, cool. That makes sense. Okay, cool. Well, that throws my previous theory out the fucking window. I thought this was so much cooler. What the fuck? Oh, whatever. And it's not art, but some of the Hermes language. I love how the first thing is praise the fool. Everything else comes after. Praise the fool first. Love that. Okay, cool. Sending some art of the current Terror Club members. Audrey, of course. Alger, our favorite ship captain. The Fool, looking handsome as ever. Look at what a smart boy. Ah, literal child. Seriously, fuck, man. Who am I thinking of? I don't know why. I know it's not the same, but it reminds me a lot. As a kid, I was a huge fan of the Percy Jackson novels. I'm not sure if any of you have read them, but like he reminds me so much of how his fan art looked. I know black hair and stuff, but like fuck, he reminds me so much of him. Holy shit. Sorry, let me just pull open chat again. Yes, it increases the chances of losing control, but it's not a death sentence if the pathway you chose is one of the interchangeable ones. Oh, interesting. Okay, that's handy. So, like, if let's say the another one is giving, let's say if you can't find the ingredients for the one you want, or if the third one or the second one doesn't give you a power that you like, but another one does give you the power that you like, you can switch to that one. I see. Interesting. It did remind you of Percy Jackson as well. Oh, okay, good to know. Fan art for everybody, but for Mr. Fool, you blind? He's right there. I appreciate a username. I know he's not here anymore, or actually he might be. No, I think it might be. I appreciate it. Client sitting on the chair, the gray fog. Oh, no, he looks too put together. Bullshit. This is not him. He's gotta be lampooning. This is bullshit. If not insta death. Insta death. Just drinking cyanide. Gray fog. Yes, I did have this one. This one's very cool. I think it's like, isn't the overlay actually? Isn't this part of the overlay? I think. Oh yeah, it's the left part of the overlay actually. He has already got this art. Amnesia is right on top of this. Gray fog. Whoa, that looks dope as shit. What the fuck? Nah, thanks username. Yeah. Dude, that looks dope as fuck. We might have to switch the overlay to this. This is so much cooler. What the fuck? But this is very wide, which means I would probably have to get rid of the creator on the right side, and Ramiro might have a heart attack if I do that. Mr. Fool and a more Jiansha? I don't know this word. Fantasy TV genre based on Chinese mythology. I see. Okay. Mr. Fool. Yes. Very much looking like a seer. Illustrations from the physical. Wow. Tenjin. That is... Man, that looks horrid. This, don't remove my goat. Seriously, this reminds me so much of, fuck, oh my god, what's the name? Hold on. Hey, Devil. No, I appreciate you popping by, buddy. A couple of things have happened. We learned, like this, Tenjin reminds me so much of Yharnam, dude. From Bloodborne? What the fuck? A couple of things happened. Interchangeable pathways and stuff. Courting Death, looking into the soul of Eternal Blazing Sun, getting some formulas, I don't know if you were here when we got Mr. Sun as part of the Tarot Club. So a couple of things. WrestleMania season is officially dead. So yeah, I think you missed a couple of things. But yeah, I appreciate you popping by. We're just checking out the art before I... Cuttlefish is a big fan of Bloodborne. Yeah, isn't everyone who's played that game? That game is the best. If they could get that in like 1080p or 4K at 60 FPS, holy shit, that game would kill. Mr. Seer. Look at that. That is cool as fuck. Yeah, you just missed the chapter where Klein killed Leonard. Okay. Okay. All right. I think we'll leave it there. Thanks everyone so much for another great stream. Great day. Learning lots. A lot of theory crafting. Apparently, even good theories, because even Ramiro was happy with my theory, which is rare. That motherfucker is always depressed. Use the emulator if it's in 120. Oh shit. Okay, I might have to try that, because man, playing in 30 FPS in 2024 is 2025 is a bitch. Jesus. But yeah, once again, tomorrow when I stream, when is this motherfucker getting the clown potion? Because I feel like, according to my math, he should have gotten this like, I don't know, like 10 chapters ago, and it hasn't come, and I'm losing my mind. Okay, so tomorrow, We are reading until this motherfucker gets the clown potion. Holy shit. But yeah, that's it, everyone. Bye, Mr. Z. Bye, everyone. Hope you guys have a great rest of your day or nights. And I hope to see you again tomorrow, roughly around the same time, maybe a little bit earlier. Clown potion's in. Thank the fucking god, dude. I'm losing my mind. I thought it was around 130. I'm nearing 150. I'm losing it. Yeah, that's it. Thanks again, everyone. Hope to catch y'all again. I'm hallucinating. Yeah, maybe. I don't know. Yeah, it's my. You never saw the clown potion chat? Shut the fuck up. All right. Yeah, that's it, guys. I'll see y'all. Oh, you did catch it, Dr. Z. All right. Okay. Love it. Okay. Guys.